Alright, it's time for another video. I want to talk about the most authentic drivers on the F1 grid as far as I can see. Some people's list might be shorter than mine, who knows? Some people's list might be longer than mine, who knows? But because I've talked about authenticity, I decided I might as well also mention which drivers I believe are authentic on the current F1 grid. It's a very short list. I thought I would make a list of the most inauthentic drivers on the grid, but it's just it's easier to just talk about the most authentic and move from there. So the most authentic drivers on the grid, as I see it, it's Kevin Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda, and that's really the list. That's it right there. No, why do I say those guys? Well, because they're the only guys who, from race to race, actually look like they have to earn their next drive every time they go out on circuit. They're the only guys that really look like they have to do that. And I get it, some of these lads are so talented that they make driving the car look easy, they make it look easy, but I mean it even translates in other ways where these guys take risks that they really shouldn't be taking. Right? K-Mag, for instance, what I can't even say what the heck he was doing. You see, these are like my most criticized drivers as well, mind you. So I'm always criticizing these drivers, but at the end of the day, they are the most authentic drivers on the grid. K-Mag, whatever he'd done at Monaco, that was the most loose piece of driving I have perhaps ever seen in F1. He's very lucky to have, I don't know, did he get penalty points for that? Surely he must have. Surely he must have. He was close to a ban, or surely is close to a race ban or a few race ban, what have you. That was a crazy moment what he done on Monaco. Very crazy moment. But why is he doing that? Why is he even fathoming that this risk is okay to take? Why is he doing that? Well, because in his mind he has to. His next drive is not guaranteed. He has to. Why is Ocon always doing what he's doing with his teammates? Because in his mind he has to. You see, Ocon, I've been wondering with Ocon how much rope he's going to be given. I've been wondering for the longest, how much rope are they really going to give this guy? And it seems he's just about run out of rope now. After Monaco, it seems he's just about run out of rope. And Alpine have decidedly had enough. I'm not sure if Otmar Safnauer would have kept him around long. I'm not sure. I considered it irresponsible to keep him around anyway, but well, here he is. He's on my most authentic drivers list. Because he passes the eye test for authenticity. He always has to go for it, for whatever reason, because he feels he has to. And there's Tsunoda. He's being reined in somewhat by the Red Bull operation. VCARB. I don't know why they don't call the team VCARB. I'm sure there's some newsletter going about that you shall not call Visa Cash App Red Bull VCARB. Why not? They don't want to be associated, right? Aren't they trying to break association with Red Bull? Now they just call them Red Bull and it's Red Bull. Red Bull and Red Bull, come on now. But anyway. Anyway. VCARB. Oh boy. Well, they are reining in Tsunoda somewhat, but he's too hot-headed for it at the end of the day. He's too hot-headed to be reined in all the way. He's always gonna break script. You see, they're trying to give Danny Rick the shine. Now, lucky for Danny Rick, Yuki might run out of talent in some moments. Lucky for him. But otherwise, he's got his hands full. He can't actually beat Yuki on pace, unfortunately. And Yuki, they can't rein him in. Right? If they're going to put Danny Rick in front of him, then Danny Rick really got to up the tempo and race well, make it look worth it. Because Yuki's going to be on the radio. But making sure that this better be worth it, or you give me back my spot and let me do my race type of situation. I mean, it's come to a head now with Villeneuve. Let me talk about Villeneuve over here. I might as well. It's come to a head with this whole Villeneuve-Ricciardo situation now. And I can tell Villeneuve is really annoyed by Danny Rick. Because he sees a bit of himself in him, as it were. I mean, when Villeneuve was done, Villeneuve's title, I mean, Villeneuve's title is a very interesting one. Car so good that one of these drivers is going to win the title, but it's a very interesting one. Was he good enough on talent, just straight talent, to actually win the championship? Well, he was better than Frentzen. But I suppose Frentzen wasn't all that good in the final tally, but he was an interesting driver, mercurial here and there. Well, Villeneuve, he came out the gate hot. One could argue this way and that way just how engineered his championship was. At the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Schumacher got himself disqualified. So, got a championship, lucky for him, but he never really looked the same afterwards. And he was hanging on for dear life at the end when Robert Kubica came in at BMW. He was hanging on for dear life in F1. Just like Danny Rick is. Just like Danny Rick, and I'm sure it vexes him like this guy is just... He won't say that this reminds him of himself way back when, but he's hanging on for dear life in this F1 thing. Went back to his old masters at Red Bull. Villeneuve didn't have old masters to go back to. But anyway, this is about the most authentic drivers. And unfortunately for Danny Rick, he's paired up with one of them. And it makes hard work for him, I tell you what. It makes really hard work for him. But anyway, anytime Danny Rick gets any sort of result ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, it's talked about a lot for some reason. It's talked about an awful lot for some reason because it's rare. It's not going to be the norm. But anyway, his fate was really decided when he lost to Lando Norris at McLaren. I don't know why he's still around, quite frankly. But, well, there's some interest with keeping him around, no doubt. Yeah, I think that should be the video. People might ask, oh, how is Sir Lewis Hamilton not making the list? Look, there's a lot of things happening around Sir Lewis Hamilton right now. The great Sir Lewis Hamilton is... I'll make a video on it, I suppose. But he's definitely not... doesn't make the list for most authentic driver. Even just on straight driving. There's some Grand Prix he's taken off this season. But anyway. Anyway. Yeah, that should be the video. The rest of the grid I shouldn't have to speak about. From Norris to Leclerc to Sainz, Piastri. Piastri not supposed to be here just yet, unfortunately. He needs a year or two to cook, but oh well. Oh well. We'll see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, that should be the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace.